Hello! Today I'm gonna show you the differences between a 6-stud wide LEGO Speed Champions car and a 8-stud wide Speed Champions car. I'm going to show you the pros and cons with these different widths, and I'm going to show you why people choose one over the other. Let's begin with a 6-stud wide LEGO Speed Champions car. It can only fit one minifigure, as you can see, and there's not really much room to put details. And if you compare it to the 8-stud wide car, this one is way more realistic. You can place more details and you can make the shape more realistic in general. So now I'm gonna tell you the pros and cons with these different types of cars. So let's start with this one. The pros with this is that it fits very good on LEGO streets, like in LEGO towns, but it's not very realistic if you compare it to a real car. But if you don't really care that much about the realism and more just to have it and collect, then these are pretty good. The cons with these 6-stud wide cars is, of course, they're less realistic and they can only fit one minifigure, and there's not really that much room for interior. The pros with a 8-stud wide car is that it can be more realistic and the shape in general is more accurate to the real cars, and you can also fit 2 minifigures and it has room for better interior, as you can see. And you can in general like place it next to any house or decoration in a LEGO town, and it will just make it look way more better and more realistic than this, for example. So that's what I think about these two cars and the pros and cons. And now I'm gonna tell you why people choose one over the other. So I think that the reason for people liking 6-stud wide cars more than 8-stud wide cars is because, one, if it's done good, it can look pretty decent, and it fits very good into like towns and roads, so it doesn't take up that much space. So you can have a lot of them and it looks pretty good. You can fill up the streets reasonably and fit way more minifigures on the side of the road. When, for example, this takes up almost 1.5 lanes. So the reason that I think people choose 8-stud wide cars over 6-stud wide cars is because, one, these are more realistic, two, they can fit 2 minifigures, and they just look more accurate and they're good for collecting. They take up a lot of space though, but if you have the space, these are totally good for collecting purposes. That was my video on the pros and cons of 6-stud wide Speed Champions cars and 8-stud wide. This was just a pretty short video, and please tell me in the comments if you want to see more car related videos or anything else. That's it, bye!